Making the NBA is a dream. It is a dream for anybody who plays basketball. Even if you're just a bench warmer, you'll be making millions of dollars and be living the most extravagant lifestyle there is. But what happens when everything is taken away from you? The NBA rejects you for something you couldn't control. This is the story of Isaiah Austin. What is going on, everybody? It is Handles, and today we'll be going through the story of Isaiah Austin. He was an amazing player coming into college. He was ranked top 5 in all recruiting databases, but everything was taken away from him in an instant, only a few days before the 2014 NBA draft. But anyways, let's start right at the beginning. As a kid, Isaiah was really tall, and while he loved to play basketball, baseball was also a passion of his. But everyone thought he was much older than he said he was. So when Isaiah was at a baseball summer camp when he was 11 years old, he had to play with the older kids simply because of his height. He wasn't really familiar with the game yet, he was just learning. He was placed at first base, and for some reason, the pitcher kept faking it to him. Since Isaiah was just learning, he didn't realize the pitcher could fake a pitch and throw it back at him to get a person out. So the pitcher went ahead and faked the pitch, threw it back at Isaiah, and it hit him right in the right eye. He went to the hospital because his eye started to swell up and his contact lens got stuck. The doctors said he had a loose retina, but no surgery was required. He just needed to monitor any pain. 3 years later, in 2008, Isaiah had never dunked before, mostly because there was a rule against it. And if you did, you would receive 2 technical fouls and not allowed to play in the game. Isaiah didn't care though. It was his last basketball game in middle school, and he dunked it. He received 2 technical fouls, but immediately after that dunk, Isaiah noticed something was wrong. All he could see out of his right eye was red. The dunk had detached his retina from his right eye. In the end, his eye was saved, he regained his vision, but later the retina detached once again, and at that point, Isaiah didn't want to continue to constantly have surgery on the eye in an attempt to save it, because he kept saying how he was under excruciating pain every time he had to go in for surgery. So his right eye was gone. But that didn't stop Isaiah from playing basketball. He continued to play and learn how to play with only one eye. It seemed as if his other senses improved after losing that eye. Before, he wouldn't even be able to tell if someone was on his right side, but now he would know instantly. By Isaiah's senior year in high school, he was ranked 3rd in all recruiting databases, ESPN, Rivals, everything. Even though he had a major disability, it didn't stop him from becoming one of the top players in high school. As a senior, Isaiah was averaging 15 points, 11 rebounds, and 5 blocks per game. He went on to play for Baylor University. He had a successful freshman year, declared for the NBA draft, but returned to college because he injured his shoulder. In his sophomore year, he had similar success. He averaged 11.2 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 3.4 blocks per game. Isaiah's main problem that all scouts had said was that he lacked strength. He was a little underweight for being 7'1". Him increasing his strength would have helped him a lot for the boards. As for his offense, he was a stretch big. He just needed to continue shooting. But nonetheless, NBA scouts saw his talent, and he was projected to become a first-round pick in the 2014 NBA draft. But only a few days before the draft, it was over. His career in basketball was over, and he wouldn't be allowed to play professionally ever again. Isaiah was diagnosed with Marfan syndrome, a genetic disorder that affects the body's connective tissue. In his case, it affected his heart. The arteries in his heart were abnormally large, and there was a huge risk of his aorta rupturing if he continued to play basketball. It was essentially over. But during the 2014 NBA draft, Adam Silver did the honors of still drafting him to the NBA because that was his dream, and it was all taken away by something he couldn't even control just a few days before the draft. Adam Silver even offered him a job in the NBA as long as he completed his studies at Baylor. Fast forward 2 more years, somehow, someway, he was medically cleared to play basketball again. He accepted an offer overseas and played in the Basketball League of Serbia. And just recently, he accepted another offer to play for the Rhinos in the National Basketball League of China. Whether or not we'll ever see Isaiah ever play in the NBA, he's still a hardworking, dedicated guy, went through a struggle of losing his right eye, and became a top high school basketball player in the country, all with a huge disability. But anyways guys, that's the story of Isaiah Austin. Maybe we'll see him in the NBA someday, as he's still a first round pick player. It all depends if the NBA clears him. But anyways guys, we're on the grind for 100,000 subscribers, so subscribe to the channel if you're new. And as always, till next time, I'm Handles, and I'm out.